Right, hey guys, I'm going to go through a quick overview of the three designs that we came up with for our design. So I didn't know anything about SketchUp. Well, I did know some stuff about it. I knew that what SketchUp was. I just hadn't really used it prior to this. There is quite a learning curve. You can get on YouTube and watch all kinds of stuff on how to do it, and tips and tricks and stuff like that. The biggest thing is this is a free version. I didn't pay for it. So you can use it. This is on a PC, not a Macintosh or anything like that. I hear the Pro version's quite robust. What you can do. You do have these windows over here. Going over a couple real quick. You have this thing called the 3D warehouse. I can search in here. Anything that you want. There's actually a lot of IKEA stuff on here. You can search cabinets. You can search buses. Boats, all kinds of stuff, and pull that off. So. All right, so this is the first one we came up with. This is kind of just, once again, real rough. Queen bed in the back here, wardrobe or custom cabinets built in on either side for storage. We do have an access to the back of the bus here. Our bus is a front engine, so we do have a door we can get in and out. This is pretty much blocking it. My idea was to have water tanks under the bed at one point, and then having a door that slides out when you open the back door to have access to stuff that you would use maybe outside the bus, such. So built-in cabinets here. This design had the composting toilet on the wheel well, which is what our current design actually has. This actually had a little area for a sink. All right, we're not going to actually have a sink on our bus for the bathroom. We're going to use, you walk out 6 feet down the way, and then you've got a kitchen sink. So we're going to use the kitchen sink for our sink. The reason being is, this takes up some real estate. Not a lot, but enough to where I don't want to end up doing it. Plus running the extra plumbing. With this design, sink on this side, composting on this side. We had a shower stall was going to be over here. Then we were going to have plumbing on this side, plumbing on this side. Instead of taking up the room for the sink, I end up moving the shower over here in the current design. But we'll move on from that. So with the shower being over here, we had bunk beds just towards the front of the bus on that. But with this design, if you notice, bunk beds are poking out into, this is the kitchen area. We would have a cooktop here, sink, and what do you know, there's beds right there. So it didn't really like this layout too much. Refrigerator, you could shift it left or right, whatever. Built-in cabinets would be beside here and above it. This one has just a long countertop. I just threw these under here. Most likely aren't going to have these under here. Where this refrigerator is, imagine this area right here. This is all windows. So this refrigerator is basically butted up to where the windows start. Everything else here back is skinned, except for I think this area somewhere over here we have a window, or maybe it was this area where the shower was. So the idea with this is we'll have an area where we can, do homeschool, open up laptops. We can eat our meals over here. With this though, this is counter depth. I don't really want to go counter depth. I think, this is 24 inches out. I think we would cut it down the middle, go 12 inches, and either flip it up, flip it out when we needed it, or even go something, not as deep, total length, and maybe 18 inches out, and then have it fold in half. I've seen some pretty cool designs where they fold back, and you actually can store stuff in these as well. The idea would be to have swivel chairs mounted to the wall, the inside of the bus, where we could swivel them out when we wanted to use them, kind of like what you had in the old ice cream diners, ice cream parlors, stuff like that, where you could tuck them underneath when you weren't using them, pull them out when you want to use them. All right, with this design, straight through down the middle, kind of galley style kitchen. I don't really have the appliances in, but this would be, cooktop, sink, and then some prep area. This doesn't have uppers, but we would have uppers because our bus is actually raised 19 inches, so we have the ability to put some uppers in there and not block. Then this whole side here basically is all windows as well, so pretty good views depending on where you park and where you're at. These are cool cabinets. These actually pulled out of that 3D warehouse on SketchUp. Pretty cool artistic designed cabinets. You get a design, probably have somebody cut it out with a CNC machine or something, cut these out in wood, and then paint this one color. And then on the back side, you could put copper, you could put some metal with some little perforations in it to cover some of this stuff up and get some, breathability into the cabinets and stuff, because you don't want any moisture, humidity and stuff building up in the back of the cabinets. What I like about these is this right here, these wine bottles. I'm just joking. So really what I like about these cabinets, well, that I do like about that is wine bottles, but also what I like about these cabinets is they're on sliders. So these cabinet faces are attached to the drawers. You can pull them out, pull them in. You really utilize all of that space all the way in the back. Every time you pull them out, you can get the stuff that's in the back. You just have to make sure that you have enough room in your bus to be able to pull those out, do that. So Kelly's not a huge fan of these, but I know these utilize a lot more space, or utilize the space a lot better when I take her to like IKEA or maybe even a kitchen, design place and kind of show her some of those designs and how she can actually, touch, feel them, open them up, and see what they are. So working on to design 2, basically similar in the front. However, this side has a shower on this side and a composting toilet on the back here. You could easily switch it over to this side, which would make it easier because then you could have all your plumbing on one side because this is the kitchen. Having this design here, you may notice this one had bunk beds. This one doesn't have bunk beds. So where are the beds? Without having the bunk beds here, a lot of room, bigger shower, bigger bathroom. Put this this built-in cabinet here, and build a cabinet above the refrigerator and have a lot more storage. Well, this design actually put the queens over the queen bed over the twin beds. So what I was going to do is on the 4 corners of the bed, I was going to put some U channels, some heavy-duty U channels up here, and I was going to put make a nice metal frame for the bed and have brackets that had wheels that went into those U channels. So the bed could be lifted and lowered into place when you needed it. So we have, once again, this is the outline of our bus with the roof line. So we have an extra 17 to 19 inches above. So that would actually be quite a bit of room that we can have on the bus for this. So that will work out for us. I would put a gas strut on here where you could lift and lower this. So with that, this would be kind of a back bedroom area beneath the bed. So let me see if I can zoom in. Up. So beneath the bed to the ground here, when the bed was lowered at its lowest point, you have about 4 feet, 4 inches, something like that, 4 feet 6 inches, to be able to walk underneath or duck underneath and then get into the back bedroom here. This would be a twin bed. These beds would flip up. You have storage underneath. The foot of the beds, we would actually have on these walls a desk, maybe that flipped down or stayed down all the time, little upper cabinets for storage for books or knickknacks or whatever, and then plugs, and then you could sit on the edge of your bed, and you could plug away on a laptop or do school, whatever. You'd have your little area here. And then in the back, once you walked underneath the full or the queen size bed, then in the back of the bus here, basically the whole back of the bus area, which is roughly about 5, 6 feet, 7 feet, like 7 feet across, you'd be able to stand up fully, and they'd be able to have that area for changing or whatever. And then what this does, the cool part is, if you look straight down the bus. So having a front engine bus, it's cool because you have that rear door, and we'd be able to open it up, pull our bikes in there, keep our bikes locked up, or whatever when we were traveling. We'd be able to get stuff in and out of the bus. I think a lot easier having access to that back open like that. And then on the sides here, the back ends of the bed, we could even probably build in some wardrobes or drawers or something. Maybe at least on one side, maybe storage on this side for outdoor equipment. And then you could open the back of the bus, get your outdoor equipment, and go right back. With that, the master bed, doesn't really have storage. So we would probably use some of this back here for clothes storage, such. With this design, the water tanks would be on the underside of the bus, which is actually a pretty good idea, which is what I'm going to end up doing. When I first came up with this design, I thought, man, I don't want my water tanks outside, so I don't think I'm going to do this. But the more I've done research, I don't want that I don't want that weight, 900, 1,000 pounds of water back here on the back end behind that axle. I'd rather it be over the axle or in front of the axle where it's sharing the load between both axles. That's nor here nor there. So this design, we wouldn't have storage underneath the bed. We have storage under their beds, and then no room for water tanks inside. And then this little area, so here, what I liked about this was I was going to put a washer dryer combo here. The more I read about it, you only have minimum capacity that you can put in them. But really, they're more of a waste. If you're 2 people, great. If you're a family of 4 and you got kids that wear 5 different outfits in a day, or you're outside sweating and wanting to change, those little washer dryer combos aren't gonna be the way to go. Best to do a laundromat or use somebody else's washer and dryer, friends, family, something like that, or wherever you're at. Utilize it. If you're at an RV park, something like that, use it. Laundry area. They do have these really cool manual washing machines that you can pump with your foot. I've seen those. We might try to get a couple of those. That way you get a workout while you're doing it too. But so with that, we wouldn't have this area wouldn't be for washer and dryer. We could build in drawers and stuff like that to store our stuff as well. And then on this side, we would have steps. And on the back side, stepping area would be to get up into the bed. So when the bed wasn't down, it was in the up position, you'd actually have a full height would be, you'd have about 6 feet to walk underneath or more to walk underneath to get to the back and to the front. So you just pull this down when you needed it. Once again, I said it would be on gas struts, so you can raise it and lower it with ease. Yeah, and then I already saw the front of that. So moving on to this other one here, this design, the idea behind this one was have this L-shaped couch. That way you could have seat belts here, and then while you're traveling, people could face forward and they'd be securely fastened and safe, be able to look out the front windows. But with this design being the way it is, it kind of keeps you in a choke point. There's about 28 inches between counter, cabinet, and here. I could go less, maybe make it more. And you wouldn't have much of a seat here. I guess you could probably put 2 butts there, depending. But having this countertop here, great for countertop space, rolling right around the kitchen here. But you kind of have this funky area under the cabinet. You could put a Lazy Susan in there, but I don't know. You'd have to use something smart for that back corner. And then I couldn't put uppers above this because it would end up blocking the openness of the bus, I guess you could call it, because you want to try to have, in a small space, tiny home, Skoolie, as much openness feeling that you can. Whereas if this countertop was over here and it was a full upper, you'd have a lot more storage ability to do that. But I still think there's some cool parts about this. Still might do something like this. Not 100% sure. We're still kind of in that phase where we can change the front of the bus a little bit. But see, this current depth, this one is 12 inches. 12 inches isn't deep enough to really put your arms up and type. I mean, if you had a laptop, be enough room to eat. So the idea would maybe be, have thing flip over, flip out when you want to use it. So it's deeper, and then when you're not using it, it flips back. And then these would pull out for storage. This would open up. You could have storage in the corner here for pillows, blankets, more storage here. Good stuff. And then this would, could slide out, or you'd have a section that you could fit in here, and then you could make this, pull this cushion down or whatever, and make this a spare bed. So kind of cool. Or you want movie night, you can pull it down, make it a big comfy seating area, throw a bunch of pillows, make it nice. You would have the ability to put some kind of portable table that you could lift in and lift out. Maybe if you had 2 little mounting holes here, slide it in, slide it out when you wanted to do it. I have seen where people make they have a metal frame that they pull a pin and it slides over, and then they have a tabletop, and then they can, that's kind of a cool idea as well. This design, has bunk beds in the back, and directly across from the bunk beds, which is kind of what we're doing now, is got the shower and the composting toilet. However, our current design has this area slid into the back bedroom a little bit more, probably like that, which then all of this stuff slid back, gives you a little bit more room front to manipulate and make the couch a little bigger, deeper, whatever you want to do there, or build more cabinets in the kitchen. So cool part about SketchUp, like I can undo and that goes back where it wants. So this idea came about because I was going to put the water tanks under the bed. Now not looking to do the water tanks under the bed. So what we'll have here is the back door will open, and then I'll have a drawer system on some slides that'll slide completely out. It's kind of like you have in a truck bed that'll slide out, and then I'll be able to put outdoor equipment under the middle of the bed, and then this bed will tilt up, and then we'll have storage underneath here as well that we'll be able to get to. And then the boys' bunks will have storage underneath their beds because their mattresses are going to fold up as well, kind of like what you have. But yeah, so real quick, that's kind of the three designs we came up with. We're kind of meshing something between, I think, all three. If you got questions, or you want these files, I can send this file to you, get you at least started with the layout. This is for a 40-foot front engine Bluebird layout, but yeah, it might help get you started here. And then I'm going to go ahead and open up. This is the very first thing that I did on SketchUp. Moby All-American here. So I went to that 3D warehouse, and over here you can I typed in Bluebird, Bluebird school bus, Bluebird school bus, and there's all kinds of stuff on there. Oh, school us. It still liked it. So what I did, I found one. It's actually, it was a prison bus design. I don't know who's designing prison buses on here, but somebody was. I took that design and I basically changed the color. I can't find it right now. Anyway, I changed the color, added the colors that I wanted to kind of do the bus, to see what the color would look like. I raised the roof a little bit, blocked off some of these windows where we have them blocked off on the bus. I had trouble doing the transition up here. I couldn't figure out how to do it. Back was real easy because it's just straight across. I didn't build the deck like we have on ours on the back here because I just didn't want to spend the time. I did, blacked out the wheels, and then I put on some spikes and chrome center caps, which is probably what I'm going to end up having on there. I did put wood flooring in there. I was going to. This is once again me first messing around with SketchUp, so I did do wood flooring there. I was going to design everything in here, and this file is pretty big. There's a lot of stuff going on, so it was easier for me just to start with a blank floor and start building with that. But yeah, that's it pretty much. I am thinking about changing our bus to some kind of mirrors like this. Ours currently have the mirrors that come all the way down here, several mirrors. I'll probably fabricate something where I can put a big window there, or mirror there. I'll probably end up leaving these windows mirrors. I like these mirrors down low to see in front. But yeah, that's pretty much it with this. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Once again, if you want me to send these files to you, what I've got, just leave a message in the comment there, and hit me up on Instagram, and you can private message me, and I'll forward those over to you. Change emails or whatever. I'll forward those over to you. Hey guys, I appreciate it, and thanks for watching.